Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Gridiron Weekly. I'm joined by my co-hosts, William and John. These gentlemen tonight are going to make history because they're going to make every single pick in the first round, and they're going to get them all correct. And they're going to go down in, in the lores of everybody who does a mock draft because they're going to nail them all. We got a nice scoring system we talked about last week. We're going to do this. We're going to have a little comment. I'll keep it running as fast as I can. We got 32 to go. Last week, John won. He won the coin toss. John will go first. Los Angeles Raiders. Who they taking, John?
Las Vegas Raiders, not Los Angeles.
Las Vegas Raiders.
I would think that they're taking some calls, maybe, but it's gonna be Mendoza, quarterback.
Mendoza it is. Billy, would you change that pick at all?
No.
Excellent. Billy, you're up next. You have the New York Jets. Who the hell are they taking?
I said it before. I think they're going to go with an outside linebacker from Texas Tech, and that is Mr. David Bailey. I get the sense they like him. He's been tied to them, and he's I don't know. They were terrible. They were 31st in sacks last year. The Jets were, and they need help in that area. So
excellent, sir. Excellent, sir. I would not change a pick at all. Up next, interesting, John. We have the Arizona Cardinals. What are you doing with the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, I said it last week. They kind of need to be a little more exciting. I'm gonna give them Arvell Reese from Ohio State.
Arvell Reese, awesome. I love it. Up next, we have this is an interesting pick. We have the Tennessee Titans with a lot on the board. Billy, what do they do?
I think they're gonna go after Jeremiah Love. I think they're gonna go after him because they're saying that they want to, I was hearing Pat Kerwin the other day talking about how, the Titans in recent years, have been a running team, with Derrick Henry and even going back to Eddie George. So I don't think a lot of Titans fans would be upset if they went and took Jeremiah Love.
One quick follow-up question for you, Billy. You think this will change the offense? Think they'll go more of the RPO with those two, both athletic quarterback and super athletic running back?
I mean, potentially. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you when you have, I tell you what, I think they're going to be a decent team this year. So
yeah, I think you're right. I think they're going to make some noise. John, real quick follow-up on your Cardinals pick. What the hell is Reese?
What do you mean? Oh, he's edge rush.
They're going to leave him at edge, you think?
I would think so. Yeah, I would think. Yes, they should. They need chaos. They need stuff. They need something to make that place not such a like a morgue.
Yeah.
So maybe that helps.
All right. Up next, we have the New York Giants. This is the first of their two picks. Who are they taking?
Yeah, this one's tough. For this one, this is a tough one. I'm not. I know what they should do, but I have a feeling. It's going to be Carnell Tate, wide receiver.
Wow, I really like that pick. I really do. All right, William. Up next, you have that team that plays in your division. What in the world are they going to do? Excuse me. This is the first of their two round picks. Sorry.
Well,
I'm drinking all day.
Yeah. I saw that there's maybe a projected trade between them and the Cowboys. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. I did. But we decided to put the trades out because it would be too long.
Right.
So,
well,
if they stay there, what do you think, Billy?
I was going to say Carnell Tate.
Okay, him being off. Who you take?
Well, how about Caleb Downs?
Woo! Caleb Downs is off the board, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's one of the best athletes in the draft. I think that's an amazing pick for them. Pair him. I mean, you have two outstanding stars now. You'll have 95 and you have Downs, whatever number he wants. That's a good, very, very good pick. John, you're up. The Commanders. What do they do?
Real fast, real quick. The year before, I thought Ryan Day did a great job. After looking at all this Ohio State talent going off here in the top 10, I don't know how they didn't win. So that's but still, come on, do something. Yeah. All right. Anyways, okay. Washington. I think I'll go Jordan Tyson for them.
Woo! Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver out of Arizona State. He didn't. I don't think he had any overlap with the quarterback Daniels, who was there for 3 years. I'd have to look it up, but even if he did, it would have been early on in his career in college. They do need help on offense. There's no doubt about that. They had a great offseason. Well, I mean, good offseason, not great. They had a good offseason. Too many one-year contracts for me.
Right.
But I like that pick. William, now you have up the New Orleans Saints. What are they going to do? They did well last year, better than people expected.
I think they're going to take a defensive end out of Miami, and I think it's going to be Reuben Bain Jr.
Woo! Reuben Bain Jr. to pair with the what do we think about
with Cameron Jordan?
No, he's done. What do you think about?
Yeah, he is done. Yeah.
What do you think about Chase Young? I mean, he kind of on the. I don't know. Think this will help him?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough because he hasn't really done anything necessarily since his rookie year when he won the defensive rookie of the year, the D-Roy.
Cameron Jordan actually said he was done because.
No, he hasn't signed anywhere. He could come back there.
Yeah, because I think he's going to come. They say he's going to come back there.
That'd be a hell of a three-man rotation down there.
Yeah,
Bain, Chase Young, and my man Jordan.
He's a UFA, I know, but they're saying he might be signing back with them. There's a good chance he signs with them back.
That would be pretty formidable. Top of that front seven for them. That really would be. All right, up next we have the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think, John?
Well, I think this should be easy for them. I think they're going to get it. They got to fix their offensive line, so I think it would be. I'm not going Francis Muawago, whatever, from Miami, the tackle.
The big tackle from Miami, Francis Muaga. Tackle. I mean, I don't understand if he's on the board. If they don't take him, they're stupid. You have a quarterback coming off an ACL.
And they've lost so many guys, So.
Yeah. You actually have to take him. I mean, again, stupid if they don't, but we'll see. All right, the Giants come back again, Billy. They traded Sexy Dexy. They come back with the 10th overall pick. What do you think they're going to do?
That's who I was picking, Moaga. I had him going to the Giants.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to pick somebody else.
I mean, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean that's who I had. That's who I had at number 10 for the Giants.
There you go.
So
we'll pencil him in. He is big enough to do two teams, I think. So we'll put him in there. OT of Florida. All right, number 11, and we are flying through this first round. Number 11, we have the Miami Dolphins. What in the God's green earth are they doing?
Well, they could do a lot of. They really need a lot. I'm gonna because this guy has fallen too far, and I would assume they'd take him, Sonny Styles.
Oh,
because this has gone too much. I mean, and Dallas would be pissed because I know that's who they want. That's who they're supposedly trading up to get, allegedly. But
yeah, he's a freak of an athlete. Now, is he going to be a traditional inside back, or what's he going to do? Can he play all positions?
I'm not sure what he's going to do. Great question. And everything they better hope,
Yeah, I mean, guy runs, incredible. I was reading something about Moaga to go back to your pick, Billy. He squats 800 pounds.
Yeah.
Bench press is like 535. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know. And he can block out the sun. Okay. Right. All right, Billy, up next. I know we talked about the Cowboys maybe trading and dealing and wheeling and dealing, but they're stuck at 12. Who would you take?
Caden Proctor, offensive tackle out of Alabama.
They really need help on their offensive line with that aging quarterback. He's 34 now, so if you can believe it, Dak is 34, which is kind of unbelievable because you think him to be young, but he just kind of isn't.
Right.
All right, John, you're up. Los Angeles Rams. What are they doing?
Well, I think it'll be good because they can keep the guy right in town, Mekhi Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon out of USC. My man doesn't have to go anywhere. He just stays right there. Could be the possible, the future pick for Devontae Adams. It'll be fascinating to see him there. Bill, you keep getting these AFC North guys, man. Up next, you got the Ravens, kind of in disarray, I would say. I don't know what you think, Billy, but who do they take?
Spencer Fano out of Utah, offensive lineman.
Damn, he was quick off there. You're right. They lost Falele. Mm-hmm. They lost the center. So you got to rebuild because you got that quarterback there. So you got to do some sort of rebuilding.
Right.
Down there. Good pick, William. All right, John, number 15 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right. Let me
We're flying through this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think for the Bucks. I know this is going to be where the Kenyon Sadiq.
Ooh, Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. Kenyon Sadiq. I mean, they got your guy down there, don't they? They got a guy from Ohio State, right? Cade Otton? Is he from Ohio State?
No, I don't think. No, I don't remember him there. No.
So they do have him there, but this will. I mean, that offense will be, pretty spectacular, I think. All right, Billy. Up next, you got the Jets. They're second. Who are they taking?
I think they're going to go with Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver out of Indiana.
Look at that, Omar Cooper Jr. They need to have some people on offense. You're right. So that makes sense. All right, so I didn't realize these first 16 picks would only take 10 minutes. So let's reflect back a little bit. I didn't realize that it was going to be this quick. Reflect back a little bit. So I'm going to look at the second overall pick with David Bailey, right? Billy, any chance they get anybody calling and just keep padding their picks? Do you think Dallas would move up that far? It would cost them both of their first-round picks, meaning that you take the Jets, now they would have 12. Where are the Cowboys? The Cowboys are 12, 16, and 20. You think they do that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're hearing a lot of – this is kind of a unique year. You're hearing a lot of teams with the potential of trading back, which is pretty normally doesn't happen, but there's projecting a lot of trade backs.
It's a really deep draft.
Yeah,
is what I think it is. And I mean, the Jets, if they, I mean, that's
one of the deeper ones we've seen.
Yeah, in years. Yeah. So I mean, we early on we talked about the draft and we said we set the over under at 3 for trades. I think that's going to be way over.
Yeah,
I think
so too.
Yeah,
I think it's shot way too low. But if you're the Jets, excuse me, got to stop drinking during the day. If you're the Jets, 12, 16, and 20, you're getting 3 starters, I think. I really do. If you're smart about it, you're getting 3 starters. I might be inclined to do that. I haven't gone to the draft calculation board, which tells you what each pick is worth and what the difference is from the 2nd to the 12th. But, man, am I tempted to do that. I really am tempted to do that. And that puts them with the best available person left in the draft. After Mendoza goes, they can have anybody they want.
Right.
Which I think would be it's hard because I don't think they're nowhere near a Super Bowl team. And Jerry ain't got much time left, man. My man Jerry is 84, maybe 85. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can go over to Canada or he can go to Europe and do some crazy crap, but I don't think he's living that much longer, man. All those years he lived hard. So I just think for the Jets, they're going to be tempted to start listening to people. I think they really are because especially with those multiple pick teams. Kansas City jumps up, because they're sitting at 9 and they have that 29th pick. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go to another one of your picks. William, talk to me about pick number 6. Were you tempted to take an offensive lineman there?
Well, I was actually tempted to take a wideout. I was going to say Carnell Tate, but he came off the board with John. So
with the Giants,
yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, that would have been a hell of a pair for it. They don't really know who's quarterback either. That's the problem.
Well,
Talking about their quarterback, do you think they have a quarterback?
I don't think they have a quarterback, no. I think they have quarterbacks, but when you have a bunch of quarterbacks, you have no quarterback.
Right, and they had OTAs today, and I guess the majority of the first team snaps went to Shedeur Sanders. And then second was Deshaun Watson, and third was Gabriel. So –
yeah,
I don't know. I thought Gabriel did well. I thought he was consistent on time and accuracy. I don't know. I'm not sure why Shedeur's getting the keys. What do you think? I mean, is he worthy of the keys?
I think there's reasons why he's getting the keys. I think that there's just
the Browns messed that up. So, I mean, they could have the worst. I mean, think about that quarterback position because that's not even on purpose. I mean, that's not even by mistake. You know what I mean? That's not like we're gonna just be bad. We're gonna be like Arizona. We're gonna have no court, whatever. That's what they that's what they thought would be good. So that's
right.
That's a real problem. I mean, Shedeur. I mean, I even Dylan Gabriel. Both those guys. Come on, man. They're not starters. They're not even as good as Pickett. Not even close. I think that guy's better than that.
Dylan Gabriel threw for 18,000 yards
and
141 touchdowns. I mean, that's not nothing,
Right. He's just small.
The problem is he is small. And, I don't think – do you think we'll ever have a dominant left-handed quarterback other than Steve Young? I mean, you had the Snake Stabler, and then you had, Steve Young. But I just don't think it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to change everything with a left-handed quarterback. I mean, the blocking schemes, the backside. I mean, everything's different with the lefty. So.
He only got 3 of them in the league that I know of right off the bat. Tua, Gabriel, and who is Penix is left-handed, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. He is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the 3 you have. To Billy's point, it's not the norm. It's very outside of the norm. Go ahead, John.
You guys was Michael Vick left-handed?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was, right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, his dominance was really on the ground. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, he could throw the hell out of the ball, but he was one of the fastest, quickest people I ever saw at the quarterback position. I mean, he rushed for. I mean, Lamar has the record now, but he rushed for 6,500 yards. And if he hadn't had that little governor's vacation, he would have done a little bit more. At least I think.
Agreed. I think he would have too.
Yeah.
Who knows what he would have done?
Yeah, that win at Lambeau Field was his signature, I guess, the playoff win. I mean, that was pretty impressive when he did that.
All right, Billy, give me your favorite John pick for those picks we just did. I mean, he got the easy one, Mendoza. I mean, come on. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, do you think Mendoza is going to make
it?
I know. Do you think Mendoza is going to make it, Billy?
Let
me ask you another question. Hold on. Do you think we were right on Sunshine in Jacksonville? Do you think we were right when we said he was going to be a bust? I mean, what has he done, Trevor?
Well, I mean, he's still kind of on the fence on that. He's bought himself a little time on that one. I don't know. I still think he's a bust.
I mean, you and I said it from
day one.
Yeah.
Day one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Mendoza's kind of not. He's not as good of an athlete as Trevor is, and
no, he's not.
So I mean, they say he's really, really, really smart, from the shoulders up. But I don't know that he has the suddenness, the flexibility, the dynamic, arm or stuff. It's a tough one. What do you think, John?
Yeah, no, I've been saying it. I would be trading out of there if I was them. I don't understand. He shouldn't be going number 1. I could see him going in the first round, but number 1, he's not the number 1. That just doesn't make sense to me. He's really not. When you look at it, there's probably 10 other names that are, that are better. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, no, for me, no. I don't know how he makes it. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure, and I'm not quite sure how but they know, they got to know something that I don't know, obviously, but they do. But taking him at 1, man, I don't get it.
That whole entire Indiana team was developed around him. I mean, if he sneezed, there was a tissue right there for him. That's how much it was tailored to him. Does LA have the ability to do that? Or God, stop saying
LA.
LA.
It's Vegas, first of all.
Does Vegas have the ability to do that? They don't have wideouts necessarily.
He shouldn't play.
He's not even going to play. It's going to be Kirk Cousins. He's going to be behind Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, until they go until they get to their 10th loss or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Cousins, and I think they upgraded the center position. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. I liked Quay Walker on defense. Huge upgrade. Going to be great for your best friend Crosby. And, they also got the other guy from, was it Nolan Smith or the other guy from Philly? So they did have a couple upgrades there. They got the tight ends. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they have 2 of the best tight ends in the NFL. Their running back is obviously a Heisman Trophy winner. I just don't know what Mendoza does.
Well,
go ahead, Billy.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. He's not mobile at all.
No.
I said it before. He's like that pocket passer, but the a pocket passer that, this day and age, you got to be able to, when the pocket collapses, you got to be able to slide the gap, right, and still make throws. And he can do that, I think he's smart. I think he's, he's got pretty good football IQ. I don't know. It's going to be very.
What do you in a different year? Do you think he's the top? I don't think he's number one, like to John's point, but in a different year, he's probably late first round. Do you think maybe?
Yeah, I would say so. He just lucked out that he was in this draft, and and he did what he did in the and won a national championship. And I mean, he did it in pretty dominating fashion, but that
offense was so
it's just
so tuned to him. That's what I can't get over.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talent on that offense too.
Oh yeah,
that was a very talented offense.
Yeah. He stole the best players from JMU.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to say probably, if you ask me, probably no. He's probably not going to live up to expectations, but I may be wrong on that.
I don't know, Billy. We called right away. We called Sunshine down there in Jacksonville, and the jury's way out on him. Go ahead, John.
The problem's going to be is it's not his fault they're going to take him number one, and the expectations are going to be like a number one when he should probably gotten drafted around 16 or something. Yeah, like the Jets at 16.
Yeah.
So
it'll
be unfair on him because he's not there. But it reminds me like that Bum Trubisky when the Bears did what they did. It wasn't his fault they picked him number 2.
Right.
We're idiots. But it's just what they did. And then I don't know. I just think that he's going to be unfairly treated because he's supposed to be a number 1, but we know he's going to be a number 1 pick, but not first overall.
Right.
If he was in that 2024 draft, I'm assuming he would have gone after Bo Nix before maybe McCarthy.
Yes, I agree.
Is where I guess he'd go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't understand why they made such a big look at his numbers. Like I even look at I've gone back and look at the completions, this thing. It's not, there's nothing standing out. It's weird.
It is. William, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I don't necessarily think. I think that they're a better organization than what the Jets are at this current, point in time. And but he's still. You're going to an organization that's not very good and has not had a very good track record in developing guys and just in putting together good teams. Which is kind of crazy when Tom Brady is part of the decision-making process there. But I've said it before. I just think he has too many irons in the fire, and he shouldn't even be in that position because he can't fully focus on what he needs to do. You're like when you're in that position, you're either both feet in or you're both feet out. Like you can't be one in and one out because it's just not. It doesn't do that organization any justice. And that dumbass Mark Davis, he had to know that stupid effing haircut that he has, that dumb effing doofus. But he doesn't know it. And this is what you have. It's just I call it it's a very laughable organization. It really is. It's
all right. Next question first for you, William. You're sitting there, you're the GM of the Raiders. What does it take to get you out of that position?
Well, just what I said, really. It takes everybody being all in. You can't have guys.
No. I'm sorry, I asked wrong. What does it take for you to move from number 1? Sorry, I asked it wrong. What would you be seeking? 2 number 1s? What?
I would probably seek 2 number 1s. Sure.
Yeah.
I would.
So if here, John, for you, if the Raiders somehow get a sweetheart deal for number 1 and they get out, who's coming to get him?
Right. That's the other thing. I don't think there is any. I don't with the Jets.
Cardinals maybe.
Ooh, maybe, Bill. That's a good one.
Yeah, the Cardinals could.
If I was him, I'd rather go to the Cardinals anyways than go to the Vegas.
Yeah.
But I would rather.
It's one of those years, though. I don't think he's the number 1 overall pick. I just don't. I think he's a first round.
Either.
Yeah, I just think that, and it's, to your point, the Raiders have been comical at best, right? But now they're kind of forced to do it. Can you imagine? Just imagine this: they go there, they come to Pittsburgh, and they get there, and they present the card, and it's not him. I mean, what is the world going to say?
Oh, yeah, it'd be a lot of people scrambling. Oh, what do we do now with this mock draft? What do we do now with our,
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, Billy? They're going to be just mocked relentlessly, right? I think that plays into their.
I don't know that they'd be mocked relentlessly because I think there's a lot of people that feel the same way we do.
It's not
that. I mean, I don't know that he would be mocked. They would be mocked relentlessly. I think there's a lot of people. I've just talking to some of the people. I've people are like, hey, I don't know that I would take him. I don't know that I would take him.
Just looking at Manning, you watched him, and we know he struggled. But then when you got towards as he started going on, you could see the dynamic. You could see it in him. The kid from Oregon, you see it. You don't need a lot. Like, it's just football. Right. You can see it. Mendoza is just. I don't think he's bad at all. Like, this isn't what I'm trying to say. Like, he's not going to make it. He's not going to in the league, but not at number one overall. I mean,
I just think
quick. I mean,
I just think Indiana was in a prime. All the stars aligned for them last year. I just think that it was one of those things where it was like a once in a lifetime. Like, everything worked well for them, and it takes a lot of things to win a national championship. It takes the right personnel, it takes the right coaching staff, it takes guys not getting hurt, it takes just lucky bounces and just matchups and just certain things. And everything kind of just aligned perfectly for them. Not to say that they didn't go out and earn it. Yeah, but I mean, I just don't know. Maybe if this guy would have been dominant at Indiana for 3 years, and they maybe if they were like perennial each year contenders for the national title, and finally in the senior year he wins it, then I would be like, okay, maybe. But even then, that's history has told us that doesn't always translate into anything either. So right, I mean, that's why I say, I was on before we went on air. I kind of went on a rant. I'm one of these people that I just I get excited about the draft to just a certain extent, and to me, these people that really really get excited about it. It's just I don't know. I think in some aspects it's a gross waste of time because you're it's a flip a coin. Regardless who you take, it's a flip of the coin whether they're going to pan out. Yeah. Heads, they're going to pan out. Tails, they're going to be out of the league or off your team in 2 years and out of the league or whatever, or playing in the UFL.
And you're right, Bill. We have a measure for that too. It's called the 5th year option.
Right. So I don't jump up and down and get all crazy like some of these people do at the draft. It's to me, it's kind of like I said, in some aspects, I think it's a gross waste of time.
Do you think they're almost kind of getting bullied into taking Mendoza? I mean, it's like everybody's talking about him. Can't this, can't miss. I've never seen it. How many quarterbacks do you think we've seen that were can't miss? I mean, how many?
We've seen a lot of them.
And truly,
and we've seen a lot of them can't miss, and then they don't pan out.
Right.
I.e., Alabama's quarterbacks the last 15 years.
Right. I mean, Hurts, they have an incredible defense.
Well, yeah.
And number one overall.
He'd be the exception.
Yeah.
And a number one overall pick, not just a first rounder.
Right.
This is the number one. This is.
I know. I would be. I don't know if the Raiders have the stones to not take him because I don't. Honestly, you get to the Jets at 3. Maybe they do. I don't know. I think it would be quite the precipitous fall because I think he would fall like a stone from the sky. I think he'd fall into the teens. I really do.
And if the Steelers don't take him at 21,
it's over.
Then he's going to the second round. So
right.
Yeah. I mean,
right. I mean, we saw this last year with the can't miss Shador, right?
I don't think that's right. Exactly. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen.
No,
but
I don't. But I'm Billy. I see him as a less mobile Trevor Lawrence. Kind of the same size, and he didn't even win as much as Lawrence did in college.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean,
he was at Cal before Indiana. Is that right?
Yeah. And
Lawrence had more of a resume at Clemson than what he had than what he's had really.
He was the Natty twice, 1-1. I also think that you look at Carson Beck, he's got 37 wins.
Mm-hmm.
He fell like a stone too. All these quarterbacks this was supposed to be the quarterback year, and all of them just fell for whatever reason. Their teams weren't playing well and all that stuff. I'm with you guys. I think the consensus is it's going to be tough. He's going to have a tough road, and to John's point, he's going to be treated like a number one, but I really don't think he's a number one overall pick.
No.
Yeah, so I totally agree with what it is. All right, so we finished with where did we finish with?
16.
16. And the Jets, who did you take, Billy?
Omar Cooper.
Omar, Junior.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Coop, yeah.
Coop, wide receiver. Jets. And you took Kenyon Sadiq. All right. So at number 17, an interesting team. The Lions. What do you think there, John?
I think they need offensive line, and I think I'm going to go with Vega from Penn State.
Oh yeah, Olivier Gabiani.
So I think they need anything because they've lost some guys, and I think. Can
you imagine, John and Bill? Can you imagine him next to Penei Sewell? Both the same kind of attitude, just fucking freaking beasts, man.
Yeah,
that's a devastating left side or right side because he plays right side. Devastating right side. That would be if he falls there, man. They better run to the freaking podium.
Yeah.
All right, William. Up next, we have the Minnesota Vikings, who kind of maybe got themselves a quarterback, we think, in Kyler Murray. Where did they go?
I think they're going to go safety because they need some help in secondary. I think they're going to go with that Dylan Thieneman, from Oregon.
Safety out of Oregon. Thieneman. Oregon. I think he's really good. He's fast. He's 1.5. I think he's really good. I think it'd be good for their defense. All right, we're coming right back to it with the Carolina Panthers. They might have a quarterback. They're going to pick up his option. What do they do?
Well, I think they're going to go to LSU cornerback Mansour Delane.
Mansour. They did a lot on their defense this year in the offseason. With the linebacker out of Jacksonville going there, and they took the end out of Miami and Philadelphia, Jalen Phillips. So you had another one. That's every level to have a star, which is the goal of every team. That would be impressive from LSU. Everybody seems to like that kid. Think he's a baller. A baller. All right, Billy, we got the second pick of those Cry Boys out of Dallas. What do you think?
Zion Young, edge rusher out of Missouri.
Woo! Zion Young. He's pretty darn good. He's raw, but he is good. That would be a boost to them if they can keep their offense healthy. Up next, we have this team. I can't pronounce his name. Hold on, let me think. Zaburga Stellaris. Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what it says. Go ahead, John.
Oh, I might have to ask for help. I'm gonna phone a friend because. What do you guys think? Come on, help me out because Bill, help me. What would you? What position? Like at least the position, not the player.
If you ask me, I would take Vega Ione from
if he's still there,
Penn State. If he's still there, I would take him.
Well,
I've heard Boston as well as another guy that, but I don't think they're going to take a wide out in the first round. I'd see them going offensive lineman in the first round.
We'll go tackle. We'll put ENA there.
Let's go with. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead. You got a good pick. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to go with another one. You got the guy from Georgia, Monroe Freeling. I was thinking offensive line. I just didn't know I know you guys are. You guys know more of what needs to be done.
I think you're going to be tempted to look at Ty Simpson, especially if Rodgers said anything.
My goodness, yeah.
Again, a guy who's not a first rounder, but it's going to go either the back half or the top half of the first.
Yeah, I said that as well. That may be another option.
Yeah. You haven't heard anything from Rodgers. And It's Tuesday. The draft is Thursday. We got 49 hours to go. So you don't hear from him tomorrow when they're having OTAs right now down at the South Side. I'd be tempted to look at Simpson, but again, this is also an area. I think 21 on is an area where people in the second round are going to start calling, right? Depending on who's on the board. All right, Los Angeles Chargers, William. What do? They get those 2 Pro Bowl tackles back.
Yeah. I said Peter Woods out of Clemson, defensive tackle.
DT. Peter Woods. He's a hell of a player, too. I really like that kid. I think that's a really good pick. Because I think they're set on the offense side. They might need a receiver, but they can address that in the second round because it's loaded with receivers. All right, up next, you got the filthy Eagles. The rumor is they're trading their top wide receiver to New England. That's a done deal, I guess, after June with the June 1 designation. What in the hell do they do?
Yeah,
they got an old offensive line. They lost a lot on defense. You know, they seem to think they're this factory where they can keep plugging and playing, but they're the only team that wins and is just absolutely miserable. It's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
You know, just we won again. Shit, you know. Can't stand the quarter. You know, what do they do, John?
I think when all else fails, I'm going to the offensive line for them, and I would go with Caleb Lomu from Utah.
Lomu, offensive tackle. I like it. All right, Billy.
I don't like any of these receivers there right now. I don't know if I'm looking at it. What's between the best receiver left and the offense? You know what I mean? Like kind of trying to balance who's.
Yeah.
And I just think
totally. And the hit rate on offensive linemen is higher than wide receivers. That's for sure. All right, Billy. You get the AFC North for some reason. You got Cleveland with their second pick. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Jermod McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee.
Cornerback McCoy. He is. They just had a story on him today. He might need a second surgery on his knee. He ran a 4.34. Yeah, he ran a 4.34, but he's might have to do the god awful microfracture.
All right. Well, I got another one for you.
Okay.
How about Avion Terrell out of Clemson?
Like it, love it.
Another corner.
Healthy, yeah. I think that's a smart pick. All right, there's this next team coming up at number 25, the Chicago Bears. What do they do?
Well, it's got to be defense. You know what? Now again, I'm going to look the edge rusher, the safety. That would be where I think they would be looking right now. Which is better?
Well, I'll go with my philosophy. If you get to the quarterback faster, everybody's better.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they just are. They don't have to cover that long, and it forces a hot route or a pre-designed, first read.
So I didn't. If this guy was this would be interesting for them. This goes against everything I wanted. I wanted Dylan Thieneman for the Bears from Oregon, and I think he is going to go to Minnesota. Like Bill, I do think that's where he goes.
Yep.
And then there's Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo.
Big kid, 6'1". He can fly too.
And he's not
a first rounder though.
Yeah, I know. See, let's try this for them. Akeem Messidor.
Ooh, from Miami. That's a good one. I mean, that's a good one. I like that one. Messidor, D-end. I mean, so many people need D-end help anyway. All right, William, you're coming up now. You have the Buffalo Bills. What do they do?
I think they're going to go defensive end. I think it's going to be Keldrick Falk out of Auburn.
I like that kid. I like him. They need help there too. I mean, the DN. See, and this is, I think, exactly what's going to happen in the draft. It's going to be a rush on a position. It's either going to be, and it's not going to be specials. It's going to be D-line or O-line. Once that starts, people are going to start going crazy and just, maybe overdraft. All right, John, you're up. You have the San Francisco 49ers.
They are going to take Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Ooh, from Toledo, the safety from Toledo. Warren. Whatever the hell his name is. Warren's the last name. That'll be good enough. All right, Billy. 28, you got the Texans. We talked about them. First of all, before we go any further, Billy, they picked up both those options, and they made Anderson the highest paid player in the history of the world at defensive end. Billy, what is up? Do they have a quarterback?
No, they don't. They have a guy that's had an amazing, rookie season and has declined ever since. Is what they have.
It's tough. So what do you do there?
Hell with them. Let's skip it. They don't even talk about them. Move on. Let's go to pick 29.
Billy wants to skip the Texans. I think they go O-line. I think they take probably like a Blake.
I think tackle. I think they're going to go defensive.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah, offensive tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give him Miller. Blake Miller out of he's still there out of Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to. You're right. They got to do something because they have to figure out what the hell he is. This is
right.
It.
Yeah.
Even that guy from Arizona State was a Hennichor.
Yeah.
He's
a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, John. You have the next pick, and it's a double pick team. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. And earlier you had them taking offensive tackle, right? Moaga out of Miami. What do you think now?
I think they're going to stay on the lines, but this time defense, Caden McDonald.
D tackle?
Yep.
D tackle, Caden McDonald. I like that guy.
Yeah.
I do. All right, Billy. We got another dumpster fire. Sorry, Bill. You've had the two dumpster fires here. What do they do? Bag of balls? What do they do? The Miami Dolphins at 30.
I don't know. Skip that. F it. Who cares? Who cares what they do?
Yeah.
Brutal honesty, folks. I think they got to go O-line. Have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just put best O-line available. I'll put for them because I think you're going to win with that pick. I really do because they have to. I mean, that or draft a new owner. I don't know. All right, you're up, John. You got the New England Patriots. What do you think?
The Patriots. Well, what do I think? They could use. I think they need help on both lines. Let's give them Cassius Howell from Texas A&M.
Edge rusher. Edge Howell. I like that kid. I mean, and they should have been better too, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, they really should have been. Yeah.
TAM. All right, Billy. This is it. This is the last pick of the mock draft, and it's the Seattle Seahawks. What do you think they do? They lost Rick Willen. They lost Kobe. They lost their running back. What do you think?
I think they're going to take a wideout. I think they're going to take KC Concepcion from Texas A&M.
Which would give Texas A&M just behind Ohio State with 3 first-round picks, and they were crap last year.
Yeah.
Concepcion. Gentlemen, excellent job. We know the scoring. I got it down. There's no problem with that. So now we're going to go back and look at a little bit. I'm going to pepper you with questions because I think you did a good job of all that. All right, we're going to take Billy. We're going to the hometown. We're going to have to dissect the hometown a little bit. In reality, with where they are as a franchise right now, I know you hate talking about that man. The name that shall not be mentioned, Voldemort. Who, by the way, will be 43 in December. So Voldemort was standing. I think you have to go on O-line. I really do.
Yeah.
I just think that they'd be remiss if they didn't address it. I think the pick was accurate. I think it has to be O-line.
Oh, Billy, yeah. I think it's – well, yeah. It's got to be O-line. I mean, they're going to go O-line. I don't see them doing anything else. People said receiver. I heard that Boston, might be linked to them. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're going to go O-line.
Let's go a little further. They got 3 third-round picks. So they take the O-line here. Do they take a couple of those? They have the 53rd, I think, and then 3 in the third. They take the 53rd and 1 or 2 of those, and do they go to the top of the second round and get their person at quarterback, you think? If he's still there, Simpson, or no?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I I mean, you're going to have to probably do something because, this whole Aaron Rodgers thing is just, it's just so stupid. At first I was kind of like, optimistic about, but now it's gotten to the point where listen, I don't think he's.
I think you're right. I think the odds have changed. I thought it was like 80-20. I think it's like 60-40.
60-40.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's 60-40 he's going to play. I think it's 60-40 he's going to play. But I think it's just, he may be thinking of retirement. And I'll tell you what, that's not going to look good on him doing that. That is not going to look good on him if he ends up doing that, because he's going to really screw this franchise.
Yeah, for no reason.
And it's going to tarnish his image, and it's not going to look good for him. So I don't know that he's necessarily going to do that. But I don't understand why you just aren't making a decision. Like what's I don't understand. What are you gaining by holding on like this? And furthermore, I'm going to say this. Furthermore, shame on Art Rooney. He leaves a lot to be desired as an owner. He really does. And I'll say that because what other owner would there would be other owners that would let him hijack, but a true owner would not put up with this. They would say, hey, we want a decision by this, or we're moving away. We're moving away from you.
Yeah.
You're either going to be a part of the equation by this date, or you can find somewhere else to play. And they haven't done that. They've let him hijack them. And, this franchise is got a quarterback problem. It's had it for a long time, ever since number 7 retired. And, there's been just fumbles after fumbles with, Kenny Pickett, which I said put this, organization back 4 years. It set them back 4 years easily.
Yeah.
And now you're dealing with this, which is a completely different animal from what they've had to deal with in recent years. But it's ridiculous, and he needs to make a decision. And, if he ends up retiring, boy, that is going to screw the franchise, because now you've had if he was, thinking this all along, man, you had a chance months and months ago to solidify your quarterback position with all these guys that were available and now have come off the board. And now you're really exactly. Yeah, I mean, we can, now you're really screwed. Now you've got Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. And that's not
and now you need 2 quarterbacks because everybody carries 4.
Right. So, now you're really in a bad situation. I find it hard to believe. I'd like to believe that he wouldn't do that to them.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
But then, what do you gain with him there, though, too? That's the other flip side to this thing. So you're really in a bad situation. And it's a situation they've created. Make no mistake about it. I mean, nobody's feeling sorry for them. I'm sure as hell not feeling sorry for them. They've put themselves in this situation. Like I said, it all started when Ben retired. They made this bad decision after bad decision, bad decision after bad decision on this position, and you cannot do that this day and age. You've got to hit on your quarterback. I mean, if you have any inkling of winning, you've got to make sound decisions, whether it be draft, via free agency, whatever. You've got to make sound decisions when it comes to that position. And they haven't done that, and I just they're going to suffer because of this, and it's going to be bad.
I just think that one time, if they would have just done the thing, man, just tank, just say, look, guys, we're just not really doing it. That we're not going to finish 9-8, 10-7. Would you go 4 wins, 5 wins, and we get ourselves a quarterback somewhere in here? The right year to do it if you could, and never done it, man.
Well, and it's in Rooney is to blame for that, because he has this mentality of, well, we should always try and win. No, idiot. You should try to put yourself, if it means, taking a step back for 1 year to get yourself, into a better position for the following years. You got to do that. Not all teams, good teams have went through that.
Right.
Patriots. We can name, Patriots are prime example.
They were back in the Super Bowl. I mean, they had all the breaks in the world, but they were still back in the Super Bowl.
They're still back in the Super Bowl, right? They got themselves, Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to hear that, he's doing it the wrong way. He thinks he knows everything. He's a terrible owner. He's a terrible owner. And I'm going to say that. I don't really care what people think or it's the truth. He is a bad owner. And these Roonies are not like those Roonies were, right? It's just not, and I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
You're right, though. Totally different interests, everything. Yeah. So, Billy, as a Steeler fan, sorry, John, I'll get you in. As a Steeler fan, so they just a scenario for you. They keep all their picks. They get to number 100, right, which is some sort of compensatory pick in the last pick of the third round. Would you be okay if they took a Drew Allar or a Nussmeier with that 100th pick?
Yeah, I mean, I would at this point in time. I mean, I tell you what, I would not. I wouldn't mind having a Nussmeier. I wouldn't mind having a Drew Allar either. It just, I don't know. There's Drew Allar, though. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I like him. He's healthy. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of what you would,
Kind of looks like Ben.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take it. Yeah, size-wise, yeah, you have to take a gamble at this point in time. You really do, because you're in a bad situation, and God, I mean, and I don't want to say God forbid if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come, because I tell you what, it's not a good situation if he does come back to either. Yeah. So it's like you're just in a bad situation all around, and you've put yourself into this situation.
What if they took two quarterbacks? They go and they come back and they take.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah,
I would be fine with that.
Yeah, I mean they need to. So go ahead, John.
Is Will Howard just? Because I know he's big. He's tall. He's a big kid, from what I remember.
Almost 6'6". Yeah.
I mean, is it just he's not? I mean, because he is not even a possibility, right?
Here's my thing with him and everybody.
According to some people, they say he is a possibility. I mean, excuse me. It's funny because this side of the room, when it comes to the experts on their situation, is saying, "Oh yeah, that he's looked good in practice. He's checked all the boxes. Aside from having this injury and not really not taking a freaking NFL snap last year, but he's looked good. He's looked good, in practice, and they like what they see of him. And then you have this other, committee over here that's saying, no, they don't. They want to see more from him, and they're not really comfortable with what they've seen with him. And so, who do you believe? I don't know. I mean, it's divided when it comes to him.
I have to believe, though, Billy, if he was showing out and flashing brilliance in practice, they would not have been able to hold that back, right?
Well, the problem is, Ed, that he when he got healthy, they were already in the season, and they weren't like really focused on seeing what what I'm saying. That was unfortunately he got hurt, and they weren't able to get a read on him and his talents at all. And unfortunately, when he came back, and the season was already they were already in the court was already in session, and he wasn't, and at that point in time, they weren't focused on, what do we got with him? That they were preparing each week for the upcoming opponent. So it wasn't, so that's the situation that they're dealing with here. Now he's in OTAs, and apparently he's QB number 1 right now over Mason Rudolph, and all these people are saying, "Oh, look at that! Like, see, told you." Listen, it means nothing. I mean, it's OTAs. It's a voluntary OTA. Do you really think Mason Rudolph needs snaps? I mean, he's going to be QB1 because you haven't seen this kid. Of course, he's going to be QB1. That's meaningless. That means nothing. So all these people that are reading into that, like, oh, he's in these OTAs right now, and he's this mini camp, this voluntary mini camp, and he's QB1. Well, of course he's going to be QB1 because they want to see what they got in this kid.
Thinking of Will Howard's college career, right? He was at Kansas State, then at Ohio State year, and he wins, and he had a good year, and he looked good. I don't see him looking any different than Mendoza did.
Right.
That's the funny thing to me. I don't believe they're that. Well, I don't. Well, I know college. It's just obviously doesn't translate, but in the college game, to me, they look the same.
Right.
But
yeah, no, they look the same. If anything, I would say actually Will Howard probably had more weapons.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, he had way more weapons than what Mendoza had. So I mean, I don't know. That's probably
It'd be interesting. This would be the year to find out, I guess. I guess we'll find out if there's a glimpse of
even though he started off and they did begin the season, I still think he got a lot of time because Fittipaldi talked about his inconsistency. So he had a lot of time there. He was throwing a lot. I just think it'd be very hard to keep somebody like that under wraps if he was dropping dimes left and right. Like you couldn't, like when they saw Patrick Mahomes in practice, it takes me back to the Russell Wilson and Mike Flynn thing. They drafted Russell Wilson there and they saw him in practice. They're like, oh boy, this kid's way better than. Same thing happened with the Redskins at the time. They drafted 2 quarterbacks. Cousins was better than RG3. He just was. He was more poised. He was more of a polished product. So it was, you couldn't hide that, and it panned out where RG3 had to leave after 2 years. He was gone, right? So I think if Howard was that good, if he was doing anything, that it would be because you would see it.
I just don't. I think the timing was bad. I mean, I think had he have not gotten hurt, we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this. We would know already what's what they would be doing with him moving forward, or what their plans were for him. But he got hurt, unfortunately, and wasn't able to take any snaps in preseason. Wasn't able to do anything, And like I said, he comes back once, in the thickness of regular season. And are they looking to see what they got in him? Of course, I'm sure they're evaluating him, but that wasn't their main thing. I mean, you're preparing for each week for the upcoming opponent. You're not worried. That's what that training camp preseason's for, is to evaluate those guys. And he didn't have that because of the injury. So I think that they're kind of holding out on him and what he can do.
And here's the problem, though. The only problem I see if Rodgers does not come back is that it's a huge problem, because how in the world do you do the preseason? You only have 3 games. Somebody has to play a bulk of it, right? That's the biggest problem I see if Rodgers doesn't come back. Because if Rodgers comes back, McCarthy knows him, blah, 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 blah. But, he doesn't have to do nothing. He knows him. Then you could try out the Will Howard, and see what he is. But I'm with you, Bill. If he doesn't, that team is dead and buried.
Yeah, now you might have to rely on Will Howard.
Right.
I mean, because like I said, Mason Rudolph. I mean, I like the guy as a person. He's won some games. I mean, you can't discount what he did a couple years ago. Won 3 in a row to get into the playoffs. But he's by far he is not a starting quarterback. He's a decent backup, and that's it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But they've yet to find their number, their guy yet. And I don't know. Like I said, Rodgers comes back, then you're still not in a really good situation when you look at it.
No.
And then if he doesn't come back, then you're really not in a good situation. So either or. I mean, they've created this monster where we don't really have your 2 options that you have aren't really good options.
And Rodgers is a real jackass. I mean, he doesn't even attempt to infiltrate with the guys. He doesn't go. Not really doing much. I mean, he doesn't go to OTAs. He doesn't do anything. Basically, just wants to show up and play.
Right.
Week 1, and I just don't find him. He's just annoying to the point where they should just say, "Look, we're done with you. Enough's enough."
But they won't do that, John. Like I said, this owner, Art is he is a pushover. He lets people manipulate him. He's a soft owner. And he's not a good owner at all. He's not. Period. Yeah, like I said, these Rooneys aren't like those Rooneys.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made history tonight because I think they're going to get all the picks correct. They will be graded by a former teacher on Thursday night, and we will talk about it on Tuesday. Probably for the last time, we'll talk about the draft because it's time to start getting into college football, and we're going to have to go into some of these conferences and start picking some winners. and some sleepers. So it's going to be loads of fun. If you like to watch the draft, you can watch us Thursday night. We're going to do the first 10 picks, and then that's it. I think collectively we're all going to hang up at the same time. So just doing the first 10 picks and just, quick analysis after each pick and kind of grading some stuff and thinking if we like the if there's lots of trades and talking about that. But otherwise, if I had money, I would bet on Bill, Mr. William, the A Train, and I would bet on John, who can rip a net with a 3-pointer like nobody you've ever seen. So lights out, buttons, and have a good night, folks.